Hello everyone, nice to have you all back for another episode of our 107 channel. Today's topic, W109, change of rotor and interrupter, also known as intermitter. Right behind me a 300 SEL 3.5 liters V8 over 50 years old. We have completed several repairs already. A list of it is in the drop down on the upper right hand side. Maybe you want to freshen up your memory. We changed the distributor cap, the rotor and the interrupter, also known as intermitter. Misfiring, running rough, inconstant idle, this could be the reason of these issues. I recommend also to change the cables heading to the spark plugs, new spark plugs as well, replace the interrupter, replacement is simple. Wear and tear after these 50 years in service, when that lobe which is sitting in the center rubs a million or more times along that counterpiece. Every rotation of the camshaft is a rotation of that shaft on which that lobe is sitting, or even more times. It is fairly cheap, all these components are easily available. Another issue with this engine was the auxiliary air valve causing similar problems, so step by step we solved these problems of misfiring. Had the engine running and shifted the gear selector to reverse, you might have noticed that the revs were significantly lower. It was almost stalling with misfiring. We have another look after changing these three components. 8 spark plug cables connected to 8 ports on top of the distributor cap. I'll unplug them now. Prior to that I have marked them with numbers so I can remember to which connector they belong. Cables are being disconnected. That cap is being held in place with 2 metal clips that lock into a recess in the cap. No tools needed. Off it goes. View from above. The interrupter right here, where I am pointing that Phillips. I pull off the rotor so you see what I mean. Just pull it towards you. This is the interrupter being bolted to that plate with 2 screws, and it can swivel some millimeters by releasing or fastening one of the screws in an altered position. So you adjust position of the square bottom where the lobe is touching. It should be 0.3 millimeters in advance to the highest position of that lobe. Not the case here. Maybe we can narrow down our number of issues. Done. See where I'm pointing? That wire has been disconnected as well. Now you simply take out the interrupter. You see that worn out rectangular part at the bottom. This should be perfectly square. Well, after a million rotations, not anymore. I have ordered a new interrupter. Actually very interesting. They sometimes do have 2 interrupters embedded in that assembly. The one here had only one, but it did not really fit perfectly, so I had to improvise a little. I better show you what I mean. Please have a close look, old and new, that worn out contact in comparison to that perfectly square part where the lobes constantly rub. Please also have a look at the left hand side, the two contacts which hit each other with every movement of a new lobe. Let us start right now. This one here is the old one with a rather longer cable. Now I have replaced the way too short cable of the new interrupter with the longer cable of the old one. Enlarge picture on the right hand side. Way too short. Now this is the new interrupter with the longer cable from the old interrupter. It is almost a job for a watchmaker. Use small Phillips to pry it open and press together firmly afterwards. Use a vise so you will not break anything. According to the supplier, the interrupter with a longer cable costs €190. Can you imagine? The one with the short cable costs €7. That is hilarious, but hey, clever me, I simply swapped the cables. And tested it with a multimeter. Better be safe than sorry. Seems to be okay. Okay, it is beeping. Well, let us install the new interrupter. Let us start installing. First, connect cable, because then you have more room to move and cable does not get in the way when bolting. Sandpaper helps to remove surface corrosion of the copper clips. See that protruding nose and the semicircle which was stamped out of the base plate. In there, the side of the interrupter needs to fit in snugly. This is the right position. Steady hand required. Take your time so the assembly stays in place. Do not tighten completely yet. Here we go, a new rotor finger with new copper tips. It is foolproof. It only fits into that notch. Press firmly. The interrupter needs some fine tuning, a deviation of 0.3 millimeters from the highest position of the lobe. We have done that with a W108 some time ago. Link to the videos in the description below. According to the Mercedes Benz service booklet, it has to be 0.3 millimeters in advance to top position of the lobe. With a feeler gauge and a 0.3 millimeter blade, measuring is done easily. Calibration completed. I put on the new distributor cap. The two metal clips need to fit snugly over the two recess edges of that cap. Plug in the cables in the right place according to order of ignition. If you get mistaken, you will find out immediately. Smooth as silk, no vibrations. I love it. Which components did we change? Rotor finger, distributor cap, intermitter. We ordered the one with a short cable for some €7 and swapped the old cable. We saved close to €200. Another fun fact, the entire assembly of the base plate of the interrupter can be moved as it is being mounted on a bezel that can swivel up to 8 millimeters, being pulled or pushed by a rod that is being moved by a membrane sitting in a bell-shaped housing next to it. To change the timing of ignition to advanced or retarded ignition by milliseconds, depending on how hard you slam the foot down. If you cannot swap the cable, use one with the exact diameter, otherwise you change resistance and parameters. It was really fun because I got the desired result instantly. Costs in total, well, some €110 and 1 hour of work. Do not forget, smooth as silk. Hope you have liked it. If doing this job in your garage, do have a steady hand, 1 hour of time. See you around next time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye everyone.